Okay, there we go. Oh, we're back in the long dark. We are starting a brand new run. We are doing Dead World 2.0. This is a code that I got from a tournament that I ended up not having time to do. I've never actually done Dead World, so I've played a lot of Interloper, a fair bit of Stalker. I actually started in Stalker and then migrated to Interloper. So I spent a long time doing that. We've done a lot of crazy runs up until now, doing a lot of different sort of challenges. This one I have not done before. Um, and I do like hunting, so it's going to be a challenge not to hunt because there's nothing to hunt. But we'll see how this plays out. So, in any case, hopefully we'll have a few more people join me. I've just moved into my new apartment for the summer, so the background is terribly boring because I'm in a studio, and so behind me is my bed, and that wall I currently have not done anything with yet. And I can't really do anything drastic because it's summer sublet, so someone else is moving back in September. So I'll have to figure out what I can put up on the wall that would be fun, but also easy to take down when I'm done. Yeah, so we'll think about that. But in the meantime, let's get into this. So this is still nonetheless a survival run. I have not done. We're doing a custom run this time. And we're going to use the code that was provided to us. Okay. Let's see if this works. So, what's some things we learn here? Baseline is medium, so there's lots of loot. We start at noon. It is a blizzard. Yay. No chance of an indoor spawn. Weather varies, blizzard varies quite a bit. So we have lots of blizzards and lots of changing weather. World gets colder, wind gets more, switches around a lot. Aurora frequent, but we have no predators and no wildlife at all, so we don't have to worry about being attacked in Aurora. Burn rate for calories is high. Okay. Burn rate for calories is high. Thirst rate high. Fatigue high. Freezing. So these are all very high. We get no recovery while resting. So this basically means that if we're injured, we're injured. In this case, it's a little bit more like Nope or Nagoa. Recovery rate. No recovery rate. Hypothermia, frostbite, cabin fever has been turned off, thankfully. Parasites are still in. Dysentery, yes. Sprains, no. Okay, so that's nice. So we can gallivant around and not worry about spraining ourselves. Food poisoning, broken ribs, yes. This says rest as a resource. When turned on, you wake up fully rested. Limits your ability to recover condition. Okay. Scurvy is on. Well, that's going to be interesting because food is scarce. Fires prevent freezing. No, no. Birch bark. Okay, so we can craft birch bark. So this is Dead World with birch bark. Item decay high. Use item variability low. Let's see what else over there. High empty chance container. Don't have to worry about rifles or revolvers. We'll start off with the minimal of gear. Plants are harvestable at a medium rate. So, and everything's turning off. Yeah. So everything's turned off. No animals whatsoever. Don't have to worry about the wildlife behavior. Don't have to worry about struggles. Okay, so we're going to jump in here. We're going to start in Lower Great Bear. We're going to go random. I can't remember if that's the way it's supposed to work, but we'll go random. We'll go with Astrid. I think, if I remember correctly, this is a no feats run. So let's try that. Alright, I'm giving it a first try here. So main priorities here are going to be to find shelter and clothing quickly. So it is noon. We are at Desolation Point. Let's see if we can figure out where we are exactly. Okay. I don't know how long we have to worry about. Oh, okay. That's where we were. Okay, so first thing we want to do is not lose any condition. We're going to get into here and see if we warm up. We're not warm. -1. But we can try our luck here and see if we can find anything. Nothing. Okay, what do we have for gear? A really crappy setup here. Okay, so there's not much we can do but just run. Okay, we'll try our luck over here. No need to make a bow. Medium resource means that we'll find essential tools. And welcome in, lurkers. Keep hoping for matches somewhere. Or more clothing. Sewing will be useful. Look at that, bedroll. Hey. I think with the bedroll we can go back to the mine and just rest there for a little bit. See if we can wait out the storm. Okay. Okay. Better. Oh, so yeah, this is my first time attempting Dead World, so feel free to laugh. Nothing up here. There's probably a bow at Katie's Secluded Corner, but there's no point in getting it since there's nothing on. But there's probably food there. We will dip back there. I don't expect clothes, so... Flare is good. We can make some torches, start some fires. Need a pry bar. Okay, so our first time to get into shelter that will be warm. We're also a long way from Birch Park. But yeah, our main goals are to find clothing. We can beachcomb. That's also good. Yeah, I wonder what Dead World's like with beachcombing. Because you can find carcasses out there. So if you're wondering why my background's so boring, it's because I have... Oh, nothing here. Because I just moved into a new place and I haven't done any decorating. -1 still. We really need to find some clothes. Hey, feel free to say hi if you're lurking, or just keep lurking if you prefer to lurk. Hope everyone's doing well. It's the end of April. Matches. Okay, so we're on... We're finally getting something here. We can start a fire and warm up. Really, even if we had a torch, we'd be warmer. There's our coastal fish cakes. We're losing a lot of condition to cold. So I think a pro would have just immediately started making a fire. We should do 13. That's too cold out here. Nothing back there. Okay. Hey, Rootbeard, good to see you. We are... Since we lost our run, Cave Dweller died. We are trying Dead World. Can't be jumped by anything in Dead World, right? 45 minutes. Are we going to be cold at the end of 45 minutes? I think we've got... You have a book? Yeah. Oh, we need tinder still. Okay, sacrifice for the greater good. First try. We'll take that. Okay, we don't have much. Oh, there's oats. So yeah, this is based on a tournament that happened, I guess, a couple years ago. One that I never had time to participate in, so I never played the Dead World 2.0 challenge, whatever it was. I can't remember what it was called. Oh, look at this. And so, thought it might be fun to give it a try, since I've never played Dead World before. Okay, we need to make certain we also grab some torches here. Have you tried Dead World before? What's your impression of it? I miss, you know, I know I'm going to miss hunting things. That's the thing that I will definitely miss. But we're trying something new. See how we're doing here, torches wise. So we got 7. I want to have at least 10. What'd you think of it? The end game is stressful? Yeah. I can imagine that's probably the case. Ugh! Wasted a torch right there. What? Why did it go out? It went out. That was weird. Nothing else. Okay. No. I just realized it doesn't mix. You're relying on teas? I imagine you could probably last a long time someplace. Muscle cramp. Someplace with where you could beachcomb. Well, I mean, there's no wildlife out there, so we can just go out there. Keep moving. How is the scurvy situation? And how many days did you end up lasting? Well, that's going to make no difference. Pry bar, I'll take that. We need rope? No. Yeah. One of the things I'm worried about is how scurvy's going to impact this. Although I suspect if you do a run where you're mostly close to sources of... you can get your cooking to 5. Cooking 5 and then do your best to... yeah, live off of whatever you can scavenge, whatever you can pull up in terms of the, whatchamacallit, beachcombing. Well, pretty much everything you boil off beachcombing you can always cook up to something edible, so... okay, perfect. Finally, we are in the pluses. Now we're not losing anything. Poking around. gloves. We are now covered, like, with the worst stuff ever, but... Oh, thermos. May actually have to get used to using the thermos. I imagine that's going to make a big difference. Coal makes a big difference too. Nice. Don't forget the key. We're still too cold. Okay. Let's go make some more water. Boil water. Best thing I can do. We just have the one can. Second coal here. Too long. 1 hour. Too long. Guess that's the best we can do. Barely got it in time. $318 days. That's wild. Yeah, I don't think I'll get to 318 days. That's than my longest interloper run, right? Okay. We can make 1 tea. And we can drop this. Whoa! Welcome in, Raiders. Hey. Welcome in, Queen.
Death, no, I gotta go. Gonna lurk. Stay you rock. Oh, I love you, Boomer. Thank you for subbing, and thank you for the gifted subs. That was so fucking cool of you. You guys go check out Boomer. He's awesome. He's a very good gamer.
Hey, welcome in, Raiders.
I'm gonna tell you to
Good of you to join us.
Yes, I'm working on a raft right now. I'm working on a raft. Okay. Thought you were joking. It is actually called PP.
Hey, yeah, welcome in, folks. I am currently doing a new challenge, which is really an old challenge. I guess a few years back there was a tournament that I never had time to participate in that was based around Dead World. So this is a Dead World 2.0 challenge. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's a custom run where all the wildlife is turned off. So, and if you want to see what that looks like, here, it looks like this. Okay. Basically, all wildlife is dead. You survive. You start at noon in a blizzard, and a lot of stuff is interloper-like or even more difficult than that. But there's no animals, so there's no hunting, which is really sad for me because I like hunting. Those of you who are new to this stream, I'm Babbaginator. Most people just call me Baba. That's fine. It's totally fine. I guess I just had a birthday recently, and now I guess I am old. Oh well. In any case, I'm a writer. I'm the author of 2 books of poetry. I'm also a former computer games programmer, a big-time D&D nerd, and currently back in school for yet another graduate degree, this time doing a Master's of Library and Information Science. So, but yeah, feel free to hang out. Feel free to ask me any sort of questions that you have about the game, about about the game, about writing. If you want book recommendations, I read really widely. Although, I'll be honest, lately I've been kind of busy, so most of my reading has been more centered on school-related stuff, boring stuff about books, libraries, stuff like that. But, and organization systems. Yay. But I also know a fair bit about contemporary poetry, especially contemporary American poetry. I do some translation work as well. I write random generators for RPG stuff. I like building silly and crazy things for people. So, one of our 21, I don't really want to eat 21. We know we'll find some food in Hibernia. It's weird playing and not having to worry about running into bears or wolves. More things to burn. So far, our best find has been a pair of climbing socks. It's been very exciting. Not going to be useful. Only useful to keep our tools in good shape. If we find tools. Hey, thanks Tommy. Thanks for the request to read a poem. So yeah, as mentioned earlier, I am a writer. I'm the author of 2 books of poetry, and I like reading poetry. So we will... Oh, I forgot. We have a pry bar now. We're in business. We'll get ourselves into Hibernia, and we'll read a poem. Tommy, do you have any requests? Theme-wise? Ooh, look at us. Move from ragged running shoes to... flare shell. That's going to be absolutely useless, isn't it? Might be for fun. You pick something. Okay, I picked something. Okay, let's hop over and see what we get. Okay, so let's pop on over and read something. We'll choose our random poem chooser. Encapsulation. Okay, we'll read that. I feel like I've read that a couple weeks ago. But we got a new crowd, so we'll try that. Oh, okay, so this is from my second book of poetry, Babbage's Dream, published by Sundress Publications in 2017. This revolves around the history of computers. Charles Babbage, the 19th century mathematician who designed, partially built, but never finished the first computer, as well as modern programming languages and programming spaces. And so Encapsulation is a poem that's from a series of poems that take programming terms and reinvent them as poetry. So if you're a programmer, you may actually hear a lot of stuff in a different way of thinking about it that will resonate with the concept. And if you're not, hopefully it's an interesting ride for you as well. So this is entitled Encapsulation. There is always something that refuses to be contained. Small matters like fall, how it appears suddenly in the margins of our world, say, in the torn edges of a love letter, an unnamed city of desire buried in its blue ink scrawl, or the river gravel scattered at your feet, or whatever the wind wraps around a wrought iron angel at dusk. Something eludes our description of the world and its objects, the birds casting their long fat shadows across the last traces of light, the rain, even the leaves in the fallow field caught between fire and gutter. Here another line forms, a procession of constants, a conduit of sorts that carries what it does not consider, the watery gray sky, the now brittle veins of summer. The earth overflows with the memory of itself and every incarnation of the dead. Layer after layer, husk after husk, one life bleeds into another. Inside, the stones are fitted so precisely that not even a blade can find a home. It's not that we do not know the order of the world and its unmaking. There are methods here, secrets to be held, things we should remember and pass on by one name or another. We set our ears to the coldest wall, listen to the night like an old trawler sounding its way through the deep. Beneath us, the sharp bones of ships, the incessant thrum of waves. So the poem, behind the poem. So a few thoughts about the poem. So encapsulation refers to it's one of the principal concepts related to object-oriented programming. And it basically says like you create an object, and within the object, it takes care of its own. It has its own variables and constants and methods for operating on itself. So rather than externally modifying things, you would tell it to do things to itself. So like you might tell it to initialize itself, you might tell it to change a particular variable by passing in the value, you might say change speed, and then you would pass in speed, the correct value for speed that you wanted it to use, and then it would internally make the change. And the goal of encapsulation is to hide the actual implementation from the from the user and from the programmer to a certain degree, so that if the implementation, the way that it actually works, changes, you can the call that's being made elsewhere doesn't change, and so like how it actually gets executed can be changed without directly impacting other stuff. So yeah. Anyways, so that's sort of the concept. Within this, I think one of the things that I think there's a number of things that the poem kind of references and plays with. The earth overflows with the memory of itself, and every incarnation of the dead is both a line of poetry, but also a way of thinking about sort of like the inheritance model for object-oriented programming, and also the problems of it, where it can create these memory overflows if it gets nested too deep. Yeah. I don't know. It's like when writing poems like this, I think the thing that I strive for is to leave myself surprised by the end, to find something that I didn't anticipate. So I always tell people I work as a creative writing coach and manuscript editor for other writers. And one of the things I'm always reminding people is that if there's no surprise for you as the writer, there's no surprise for the reader. That in the act of creating something, you should be on edge because you're not certain where it's going to go. And so the next turn of the poem, the next line that comes to you, should be something a little unexpected. And I think that's what keeps us engaged. If you know the end from the beginning, if you already can predict how the line is going to end or how the poem is going to end, and you see the clear path to it, then what's the point of reading it? So anyways, that's a little behind the poem. I had considered, since this is Dead World, if we should add a redeem where you can request me to read kind of apocalyptic or dystopian poems by other people. And so I was thinking about I think it's like Shelley's Ozymandias, which is famously read in Breaking Bad, right? Which is about sort of a traveler that comes across the inscription, and of this former pharaoh who claims all that you see was his, but there's nothing left; it's all destroyed. So the desert has consumed it all. And or other poems that, like Edgar Allan Poe, Stephen Crane, and some other contemporary poets that write in sort of a sci-fi dystopic setting. So I might do a little bit of build a list of things that might be plausible to do, and then read some of those, which might be fun. To match sort of our wandering through this truly dystopic background where we actually have no animals whatsoever to deal with. It's not even Fallout. It's like nothing. Totally nothing here. So we already lucked out very quickly and snagged ourselves a bedroll. So that was like within the first couple minutes. That's how you know you're playing with medium loot and not loafer loot. But we're not going to complain. If we're lucky here, we might find some more matches. Oops, I see a stem. That's going to be useful. But no matches. Medium loot means everything's a lot more random. There's more stuff, you just don't have as many guarantees. Oh, we're gonna have lots of grape. I think we're gonna use some grape juice grape soda to keep ourselves out of starvation, because we'll lose condition from starvation. And since we don't regain it by resting, we really need to protect ourselves from losing points that way. Another pry bar. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We know that there will maybe something back there. Oh, you know, I have wondered. Oh! Oh, you could do this. Interesting. Can you get back out again? No. Can't. Okay, this sucks. We just, huh. Interesting. Okay. So, sadly, we're gonna have to spend some time here. Oh, mistake. Mistake. Forgot that I need to eat something here. Yeah, Tommy, a lot of people's familiarity with poetry is either nursery rhymes, Shel Silverstein, some Robert Frost, or a lot of dirty limericks that they've picked up along the way. Oh, so I guess it's like 18 or something. Yeah. What do we got? Whoa! If it were in better condition, we'd be really set, but, I'll take that. We need more cloth, though. do we got down here? Wires. I don't think we can really use the wires for anything, can we? Because there's no fishing here. Hacksaw. Jim Duggins. Heavy hammer. Is the heavy hammer useful for anything? Only if we can't find tools. And for breaking up stuff faster. Okay. It's kind of like a limerick, but when said aloud, it's almost like a song. Is it used in particular settings? Like, is it like a challenge? Or a taunt, you know, where you go back and forth? Call and response? Like a rap battle? Okay. How many matches we got left? We have 9 matches left. Okay, that's not too bad. Stove. A way of saying things. What does it take? We need more cloth. We have no cloth here. Okay. What do we have for tools now? Got that now. Nice to get a knife. Oh, as a way of thanking the host for a meal. Interesting. That is kind of an interesting custom. I know that, like, so sort of within classical Chinese and Japanese, you know, culture, there were certain types of poems were part of, they were like drinking games where you would kind of, someone would offer you a line and you would respond with a line that was similar in structure and in sort of syllables, and sort of the structure of it, the pattern of, so like, for instance, let's see if I can give you an example here. I kind of did this for a project for one of my classes this past term, so I've been thinking about this. Let's go here. Alright, so Yeah, so there's a regulated verse form in Tang Dynasty poetry, which uses balanced couplets with parallel construction. So you would match noun for noun, adjective for adjective, concept for concept. And so, like, if the line was, let's see, the first line is, you know, blue or green mountains lie, like, sort of, I guess you would say, green mountains stretch, so that's kind of horizontal, north of the city wall. And then the other person would respond, white water rounds the edge of the east city. And so you would have, like, one says green, the other one says white, one says mountain, the other one says water, one says lies horizontally, the other one says browns or in circles, the other one says north, the other one says east, the other one says on the outside of the city, and then the other one says within the city. So there's like this back and forth, and so like you would have a line, and then you would respond with a line, and you'd go back and forth. Usually it would be like 4, 6, or 8 couplets long in terms of how it would work. And so that's kind of a cool little, when you see them done well, it's pretty amazing, to see how intricate and how quick, it was done. And then they would turn into like, these would turn into, the best ones were then preserved and published or distributed around. People would be proud of them, memorized, So I think like different cultures have different sort of approaches. Let's see, what do we want here? Oh, I think we have the key, so let's go get our flares. How close is it? We're at minus, what does it say? Feels like -1. So I think if we actually start a torch here, we'll not lose any condition. So I'll take that. Okay, so we got that. Not losing condition now. And now we're going to go out here and see what we can scavenge. And this is going to be fun, right? We can scavenge without worrying about like pulling a wolf or a bear. Pick up all sorts of bad habits, I think, this way. But I'm not seeing any food out here. Okay. Okay. Nothing here. So if someone recited one to the host, was the host then expected to respond with something? Did it become a back and forth type of thing? Rainbow trout? Score 1 rainbow trout. We'll just get this out of our inventory before it goes bad. Hey, we can go visit Scruffy and not worry about Scruffy. It's a woke trout. I think it's just yeah, feathers are useless to us. Someone shoot him? I don't know. Maybe we should make a bow just for fun. Just like later in the run, make a bow just to shoot nothing. Maybe targets, you know, at the barn or something like that. Totally unnecessary. Set up cans on a fence. Don't have to do the firewall. We can just go up here. So it died out by the end of the 1800s, so didn't make it into the 20th century. More fish. MRE. Look at us score big here. All sorts of big scores. Okay. I mean, should we just start a fire here? Let's start a fire. Need more torches. And we need 39, 34. I'm gonna quickly take a look and see if I could say so let's see, what do they say? They say a stev is a Norwegian folk song of 4-line lyric stanzas. The English version of the word is stave. Oh, okay, so metrical. This is basically 4-line stanzas, depending on the rhyme scheme, can sometimes be called hymn verse, because it's what a lot of religious hymns used, was that pattern, but it was also like used for a lot of other, it was a very popular form. But let's see, what are they here? Looking at some examples here. A medieval ballad. The meter of a medieval ballad. Okay. And so here's like a loose translation of one. Oh, who will shoe my bonny foot? Or this is a This is a Gamelstev, is the oldest type. Oh, who will shoe my bonny foot, and who will glove my hand, and who will lace my middle waist with a long, long linen band? So, meter is free. Rhyming is always on the second and fourth line. So there's like sort of this type of syncopation, like in the sense that it just the rhythm is such that you know that it's got a two-part. The verse is really like a two-part phrase. Say this, and then heavy emphasis on the final syllable or the rhyme, and then like say next thing, which then leads into sort of drops the second half of it. The Chinese Lu Shi, that regulated verse actually works in a similar fashion, not exactly the same. And then there was the Nestev, new stave, Norwegian counterpart. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Which eventually turned into, so the Norwegian counterpart to Blues from America. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Learn something new. Should just go ahead. Well, actually, I think we'll save the MRE. We'll eat these guys since they're 50%. It's edible right now. There we go. Load up on this stuff. So if you're wondering why my background's so boring, you don't see like a wall of books behind me, it's because I moved into my summer sublet apartment. So this is the place I'm staying for the next, for the rest of the summer, before I have to find new accommodation in the fall. And yeah, so I've moved my stuff in. I've left most of my books in boxes. Since I'm not going to, I'm only here for a few months. So I figured, oh, well, I won't do a full unpack. But, so like a lot of my winter clothes are still packed away, and like a lot of other stuff is still packed up. Oh, look at this guy. Hello. Hello, buddy. We might get a chance of getting some decent clothing. So I do like, I'm gonna have to take some pictures of this once I do a little bit more like unpacking. I've done a fair bit of unpacking, but there's some organizing and decorating that I haven't done yet, that I'd like to do. And once I'm done with that, then I will probably take a few photos of the setup so that you guys can see what I ended up doing. But the gaming rig setup, I think, works out quite nicely. The room has like a long countertop for like the desk, and that gives me plenty of space to put out my computer stuff. I did have to experiment with a few different setups, and I do have a minor annoyance with how the how my dual monitor setup is working currently, because of a problem with I don't feel like it has the proper support that I need. I'm gonna have to find a piece of wood or something to be a better support for the anchor on the bottom. It's partially cut out, so like the bar doesn't fully anchor in. Anyways, it's hard to explain. It's It's a kind of an annoying design. Two minutes. I think we will probably focus on staying well fed. That would probably make the most sense. Okay, so 8 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay, let's get some guts. In this respect, we don't actually have to worry about carrying guts around with us. No worries there. Rip it off with our bare hands. Okay. Two. That's not too bad. How many torches do we have? We have enough. Guess we can make more water, or we can sleep. Or we can continue searching here. Okay, let's pick up our coal. What? There's another one? Joy. Guess we got more work to do. Yep, that didn't work. I really should use the book. Okay, what though? Okay, quick pass through the rest of this. Yeah, we should just leave these things down for now. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's move closer to the exit and then rest and then get out. Hey, take care. 7 a.m. bright and early. Yeah, I'm back to work tomorrow too. But I work remotely and I set my own hours, which is really nice. This new job is very, very good to me. Have a great shift, Tommy. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for telling us about the Stev. Learned something new. Okay, we'll recover our stamina, we just won't recover our hit points. Oh, I forgot to put down all the stuff to cure. That was silly of me. Okay, we need to get back up to the broken bridge. We'll get the tea from the bear den and hopefully get a toolbox out of the... I wonder if we're going to have to forge a knife and a hatchet. We might. Why did the poem's finger hurt? It has something to do with, I know it's going to have something to do with stresses or with the line breaks. Am I right? Because of enjambment. Oh. That also works. I thought it might be because of an awkward line break. Ooh. Score, quality tools. That. No bear, because the bears are all dead. Uh-oh, lost our torch. Well, we need to book it to Coastal Highway. Hey King, good to see you. We're doing Dead World 2.0, which is loosely, well, it's based on a tournament that I never participated in a couple of years ago. But yeah, this is the first time I've done a Dead World run. So, learning as I go. I don't know if we have a target right now. I've never done Dead World before, so I think if I can make it, past, 50 or 100 days, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, indoor sleeping is allowed, I think. I think Dead World is just the, no wildlife. And not great weather. And different type loot. kind of gusty right now. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Put these guys down in here. Okay. Let's see here. Do-do-do. Okay, we're gonna run over here. Check out Kitty's secluded corner. See what we can find. Yep, didn't need to throw that. Let's see if I can make it the full 2 hours or if we're gonna crash early. Been a long day. I've been up since 6:30 in the morning. Started moving stuff to the new apartment at 7 a.m. Finished moving and also cleaning at noon. Totally useless. The bow is completely useless, but it's fun. So, we'll take it with us. Second can, we can get more water out of that. Yeah, we some dirt. Where does it want to go? Oh, it's too windy. Okay, let's see. No, Astrid. Come on, start the fire. Frozen angler. Well, there's something that won't do any good. No fish spawn either. Yeah, I think with beachcombing, you've got and more regions, you've got more options to keep this going. You do have to still navigate the scurvy issue. Like, Desolation Point is treating us well in terms of getting us lots and lots of hides and guts to start. Okay, we're still good. They need sleeping. Yeah, I think so too. I think like there is a certain advantage of staying someplace where beachcombing is a possibility. So I think like things that you might have to modify in a Dead World run would be some incentive to keep on moving. Hey, Sakurai. Hey, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. We've got about 18 minutes left on this stream, and then we're going to go get some sleep. Been a long day. Started early, moved to my new dorm. Still on campus right now. It was a bit of a headache. I had to get out by noon from the other place. Get in, but I can only move in by 7, so don't need it. Tempting. Oh, you know what? We do need it. I just realized. We can always make a travois. How much food are we going to haul around with that? I have no idea. Yeah, it's going to be a travois. It will be like Santa Claus all dressed up with presents and no one alive to receive them. Okay. I'm getting sleepy. Keep taking turns that I don't have. Okay, so oh, sleepy. Let's see. Trying to think where we'll end for tonight. So maybe we'll work our way through the mine to the other side. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ugh. Sleepy. Okay, let's see if we march out of here. Okay, getting sleepy. Getting sleepy. So I guess the question is, are we likely to find tools or not? Not tools, but a hunting knife and a revolver. Ooh, sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. Okay. Where are we here? Okay, where are we here? Oh, so sleepy. Trying to focus and I'm just tired. Okay, yeah, a whole day of moving and cleaning and then unpacking have done their toll. I think we'll... Oh. Okay, let's see. So sleepy. Um, okay, Aurora time. We can get a rest in here. Okay, we're gonna just save here, I think. We haven't survived too long, just 2 days, but I am tired. I'm having a hard time focusing because a full day of packing and unpacking is taking its toll. Okay, so we are... Yeah. Save it is. Okay, so we made it 2 days. We need to double back, I think. I think we are going to go and forge to get a knife and a hatchet. Even though the chances are we'll probably find them somewhere eventually. I don't know. Maybe we'll go... Actually, you know what? We'll go to the Quonset first. And... well, I take that back. We've got hides curing right now. I think we left them in a pile elsewhere. I'd like to get these hides turned into clothing for a travel. Okay, so we are done, I think, for tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to poetry earlier. Those of you who stuck around from the raid, appreciate it. Okay, we are... I think I'm just too tired. Tomorrow night we'll be back on as usual. And I'll have had a good night's sleep. So we'll be back in. And we'll find someone to raid in the meantime. Maybe we'll read one more poem before we go. Let's do that. One more poem before we go. So, one last poem before we go. Another poem from Babbage's Dream. Another computer poem. And we talked about encapsulation last time. Recursion is a mathematical and computer science concept of defining a function in such a way that it can be called. It can be defined by a call to itself that eventually, each time it tests for an empty case or tests for the case where it stops. But otherwise, it keeps doing the task that's been given. Recursion. Page 36. This is as before in Babbage's Dream, Sundress Publications, 2017. Recursion. Test for the empty case. If we reach some sort of end, a lark split wide, its wings a shattered song, the last box within a box, and what it reveals. that we love what we cannot hold, what we cannot return, yet try nonetheless. Here, some portion of ourselves remains, loose hairs caught between keys, months, years, the glint of glass, the reflection of an eye trapped in the monitor's haze, or simply space. A chair abandoned finally to the void. Loop until done. Else we will work on, our cut adrift from the city, from empty rooms and empty beds. All night the moon looms, a great white zero in the dark, while we watch the freeways empty their nets, the last flickering cars struggling home. From between the slats of our window's view, the night watchman stands atop the parking tower, on break, setting his lips to a trumpet as if to blow the walls down, or to call us back from the grave, perhaps to tell us something remarkable about the world we've forgotten, each long note hanging like an iron rung in the sky, a ladder ascending out of the nothingness of work, while we shrink further and further into the distance, like fireflies at the end. Flare, then silence. Flare, then dark. All night we pray for arms, for fire, for light. Okay, so that was recursion. And so, like, when you see it on the page, it actually does have like a test for the empty case, and then it goes through and else do these things over and over again. When you work in a job like in the computer games industry as a programmer, you do feel like that. You're gonna like worn to the point of emptiness until you're just about broken. And so you keep dragging yourself to work to do the same tasks over and over and over again, trying to convert someone else's ideas into a playable game. And oftentimes being the creative element, the part that you, for me at least, that drew me into the gaming industry. As a programmer, you're frequently put in situations where your opinion is not valid or interesting. They will trust the producer or trust someone else who, I mean, if they do have an appropriate game designer, then that's great. But oftentimes the design is in the hands of someone who doesn't actually understand games or programming. And so you keep trying to make the case for why it should be different, but they won't understand it until you write it the way they want it, and then they see that it doesn't work, and then you've wasted time, and then you create the new thing that works, if you can convince them of it. So anyways, that's kind of the way in which we got burnt down to our bare minimum in this recursive fashion. Okay, so it's kind of a sad, depressing note, but it is what we rolled. Okay, so thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. We are on day 2. We will pick up tomorrow on day 2 and go into 3, 4, hopefully 5. This is not too bad. I think we need to pay attention to our condition, which is starting to slip a little bit. So we do need to get a hold of, we do have a stim or two. We can use that to restore ourselves, but I would also like to get a hold of some birch bark. So it's a tough game, I think, at this point. Choice whether we stick around, recover the hides and guts that are curing, and craft a knife. And I think we should craft the knife and the axe, just so that we can make clothing sooner, because clothing seems a little bit slow right now. Then again, we haven't been to Coastal Highway. We might luck out. Maybe it's better to go to Coastal Highway, fix our Expedition Parka, and yeah, I think maybe we will just push through Expedition Parka repair, and then if we want to, double back and get our animal clothing and travel on. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And hopefully pick up food. Yeah, and cattails. So anyways, that's the plan. I think that's the plan. Let's find someone to raid. So we're gonna look over here, see who's up. So we got Perfect Trip, Dirty Bananas, and Killjoy, 215. Let's see. Kind of curious what this one's like. So let's consider Dirty Bananas. Small streamer, just started. Yeah, let's go hang out with someone new. So we're gonna visit someone brand new. 42 followers. 2 people watching. Okay. That sounds like you could use a little support. So let's get this ready, and we'll send ourselves over there. Okay, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all soon. I'll be back again tomorrow night. Raids much appreciated, and old friends, new friends, good to see you all.